Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League Week 10. I am 40 Lions, joined by the one and only Lethal. And again, as we mentioned previous to the break, we're going to get into psygib versus dramiS, the return of dramiS. The question is, what form is he in? We will find out shortly. psygib, of course, I mean, he's kind of, I feel like hot and cold Lethal. Is that a good way to describe psygib? He could, when he's on point, it's absolutely merciless. It's fantastic. But sometimes he just falls short of the goal line.
Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree with that. He's been looking really solid and you know, because a lot of the matching says his recent form, but it's not the old psygib, you know, the very like fast, aggressive, and methodical approach he always has in a lot of his matchups. And I must say, he looks much better compared to like, you know, right at the very start of the stage. But this time around, he's been looking pretty damn good. Of course, he's had a few struggles like against Rafa and Zanaku like earlier on. But so far, in terms of recent form, he had a good showing against Nosfa. I think he actually defeated him 2-1, if I remember rightly. So it depends how dramiS is feeling right now. Like you said before, he's only played like one match, I think. He's you know, he's got to de-rust, he's got to clean the cobwebs, he's got to warm up. There's a lot of things he's got to try and take into account. It's been a while for him. We've got to remember that. Not just the fact that he hasn't played in a while, but just not being in competitive competition. I haven't seen him play in terms of like streams or seen him scrim against someone or anything like that. I don't know if you have 40, but in terms of how dramiS has been in terms of the last month, I'm completely out of the dark.
He doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's just a matter of can he kind of move around the way he wants and position himself. I mean, it's the thing about Quake is if you're out of practice for even 1 or 2 weeks, like it could be a nightmare to try and get back to it. The game feels really fast, and again, you're dealing with the highest level of competition. So I feel like dramiS has an uphill battle here, especially going against psygib. But yes, the return to see kind of where his form is at. He's got a lot of makeup matches to make. So right now the leaderboard's on the America side near the bottom, a little bit jumbled, but he kind of holds his own destiny, whether he can make sure that he is not in relegation. Again, the danger zone, 9th and 10th seed on either side. So we will see. I think the bigger question is kind of what the champ picks might be when we can get into the pick bands. And I think we have those available right now. The timing on that is fantastic. If only I had that kind of timing in Quake Lethal. Deep Embrace, Awoken, Veil of Noth. We got Ranger versus Strog, Eisen versus Nyx, and Sorlag versus Keel. Third map, my favorite. Lock it in. Let's get thick all the time. But Lethal, break this down. How do you feel about this matchup?
See, again, it's difficult. It's like I said before, I'm pretty much in the dark with like how dramiS has been in terms of recent form. None of us really know, and I'm just looking at some of the maps so far. I know that psygib has been looking very good on Veil. He's been looking good on Awoken. And, you know, in terms of Corrupted Keep, he's been okay. He's dabbled in it a little bit earlier on in the stage. And it looks like Corrupted Keep has been banned by dramiS. Now, the question is, does he feel like it's because he's also very good on Awoken in terms of recent form? We've seen some good performances here and there, some questionable champions though, but it looks like he's going to go for the Eisen against the Nyx matchup here, as maybe dramiS knew that psygib was going to select Awoken, and he's also quite good as well. So he's probably thought, okay, we'll go with Corrupted Keep. But the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that psygib's 2 best maps, Awoken and Veil, are actually going to be played in this series. And I'm going to have to see, you know, it's very hard to judge right now. I can say, yes, you're fair enough, psygib has the advantage in terms of map picks, and maybe a little bit in champions as well. But at the same time, I just don't know what kind of dramiS we're going to see, because it's been so long. We have missed him, we definitely have, but it's nice to see him back again. But just very curious to see what's going to come up from him just overall.
Totally agree. Taking a quick peek at the predictions, 62% in favor of psygib. And again, psygib, if he pops off, he turns into psygod. He might throw on the headband and the aviators. This is just a coincidence. I'm not biased at all. But he has been pulling double duty as well. Big shouts to psygib for covering the challengers yesterday as well. So, you know, he could do it all. He could cast LG, Rocket. Can he take the series? We will find out shortly. But the predictions, at least on map number 1, people believe in the psygod.
Yeah, it's like we said before, in terms of his recent form, yeah, you know, you're spot on, pretty much hot and cold, and it's hard to tell what kind of psygib we're going to see. But we've seen a lot of elements in his gameplay where it's the psygib we saw like stages ago. Like he's been, you know, it's been a bit worrying in terms of his relegation, or being close to relegation on quite a few occasions in terms of the last couple of stages, which is not really characteristic of psygib. We know how good he is. He's kind of in the same boat as Chain, where, you know, sometimes Chain does well, sometimes he doesn't, but everyone else has made massive strides of improvements, whilst he's kind of made either little improvements or just stayed the same. It's not the fact he got worse. It's, you know what Quake's like, you know, you could let your foot off the gas after like one day, and then that's going to be it. It's going to go absolutely wrong for you, and it's going to be really, really tough to kind of keep that high level of consistency. But that's what happens, really. You know, Quake is that kind of game. It's ruthless. It's ruthless to say the least. You know, one day off, it's going to cause massive, massive detriments into your skill level, and nowhere near the plateau you'd like to be. Has to always be on a daily basis. But this is why I'm also questioning dramiS, because he had a bit of a break, and we want to see how well he's done or how well he's going to do in his return in the Pro League.
Completely agree. This is going to be the stepping stone for dramiS getting back into it again. He has a lot of matches to make up, trying to make sure that he can stay out of relegation territory. psygib also down there looking forward to hopefully getting out, but let's see right now as we are live between dramiS and psygib. Going to start off on dramiS right now. He's got the Ranger, he's got the Mega and the LG. It almost looked like he wanted to dire orb up there and start the pressure early, but instead opts for the rail, making sure he has all the items he needs. psygib playing a little bit slower now, not rail, just rockets to work with, making sure that he could pick this up for free without taking damage.
Chat reckons 72% in favour of psygib to win this map, and I don't blame him, really. Once someone has been out of Pro League for quite a few weeks due to injury, it's hard to bet against psygib, and it's very, very tough indeed. But dramiS, though, does pick up the Mega, finds psygib along the way, and that's going to be a nice opening for dramiS to come back into the Pro League and to come back in his first series and in his return. Because dramiS does have the info he requires. It's a matter of how he's going to engage. Good first rail. He's going to go straight into psygib's territory. There was a nice rocket, but the other two were just good predictability, but psygib was just not going into the corner. But this is a fantastic start from dramiS. Oh, okay, never mind.
Wow. 2-1 right now. psygib taking that one back. Oh, rocket pop, but the Pika comes out. Is it going to be enough? Rockets not quite landing there. Good chip damage on psygib. What a rail. 2-2. psygib tying it up right now. A little bit of momentum as well. Big LG there from psygib. dramiS getting caught out a little bit. Drops down. Trading places here. 225s to work with. A little bit of chip damage going through the murder hole. Almost gets annihilated with a rocket. dramiS in a bad way here. Trying to steal the Mega, and he does in a fantastic rail. There's the aggressive orb, and somehow dramiS comes out on top. What a play from dramiS.
Oh, do you know what? If psygib hit that rail, I think he would have got syncoed then. Like, it looked like it was looking pretty damn bleak. Trade comes out. And it's only been 2 minutes, and they've been hitting each other tooth and nail. It's been a real struggle to kind of dissect who can have some kind of advantage here. Both of them going to the murder hole, but psygib getting there first just to make sure that he couldn't pick up those health bubbles. See you later, dramiS. He's going to be off, and psygib gets the lead.
Back and forth right off the bat, just the way I like it. The dire orb aggressive to try and cut off psygib after the heavy pickup, and 2 big buck shots. Take him down, ties it at 5. Got a heater on our hands, Lethal.
Certainly have. This dramiS' rail was very solid at the start. It's missed a couple here. psygib's just dodging and weaving, but that's going to be a good rocket to make up for those last 2 rails. Oh, Pika won't do any damage, so dramiS going to be pretty happy about that. But is he going to hit that rail? Yes, he does, but oh. Sadly for him, psygib now trying to contest this heavy as well. Heavy is still up, but dramiS is going to be the one who gets that item. psygib just biding his time, waiting to see what route dramiS is going to take. He's going to go around the rail area to the murder hole, psygib just trying to survive there, but it's going to be okay so far. Still has the lead, but at this point, these two are just at each other's throats.
Oh my god, that dunk was so huge. dramiS does get in on the Mega, but what a huge rocket from psygib. Makes his way across to the heavy right on time. dramiS needs to be careful now, trying to find an armor shard to work with. Very, very cautious. What a rail from psygib. Should be able to close this one out. Can dramiS evade?
He's doing his best, but psygib just trying to make sure he keeps tabs on him. Misses the first rail, misses the second, and that was almost in a straight line. I think that last rail pretty much went in between his legs. psygib knows exactly where he is, knows his whereabouts. Just prioritising the heavy first, perfectly understandable, as he's doing a good job just making, oh, that mid-air rocket, but the all comes out. Well, dramiS better take him down. Oh, that's very close between the two.
Wow.
And okay, that's nice for psygib. Increases his lead by 2 frags, and yeah, not something I expected in that final part of the engagement. And good rockets again from psygib, 9 HP, and dramiS actually comes out on top once again, this time around with a shoddy. Will pick up the heavy. He's got to be very careful as he hits the first rail, but that Pika could be the saving grace for psygib, but it's just not. dramiS once again, just a couple more beautiful rails.
And at a certain point, you just kind of say to yourself, he can't keep getting away with this. But shotgun blast up close and personal, almost fumbles that one as psygib. The LG just wasn't quite enough. dramiS able to stabilize 8-7 now, as we're just now hitting the halfway point. Shotgun into Dire Orb, not a big enough blast. The buckshot will fail, but the rail will not. 46 HP. The Tri-Bolt, not quite good enough. psygib hanging on, 25 HP. Wow, that Tri-Bolt, so unfortunate there. psygib so fortunate. Can he cut off at the murder hole? And he does! 2 big rockets. Takes down dramiS, tied at 8.
I don't even know how he was able to avoid those Tri-Bolt shots. Oh, that rail as well from psygib, and he gets the Mega for good measure there. And yeah, I'm still debating those Tri-Bolt shots. It looked like it was, well, not almost on him, but he must have literally been inches away from those shots. And now, from dramiS. It's getting so chaotic here. It's 9-all. It's only been 6 minutes. It feels like it's been a lot longer. There's been so many bouts between the two, as like I said before, they're at each other's throats, just trying to find out where psygib's going to be. A few missed rockets and missed rail as well, which means dramiS is going to have to say bye-bye and fight for another day. He still hasn't re-healed, nowhere near from re-healing. Good first railroad, but the only problem is he's on 13 HP. psygib knows how weak he is, and it's just a matter if he can chop him down or not.
Almost threads the needle with the Tri-Bolt, but just a little bit too shallow. 9-9, and yeah, this is just a wrestling match. I wouldn't even say that. It's more of a, I don't know, no holes barred hardcore match. As the Dire Orb into rockets, is it going to be enough? Next rail does it, and dramiS is the one to come out on top. Mega for his efforts, still only a 1 frag lead, and just like that, here comes psygib, but dramiS is ready for it this time. Extends the lead to 2, and psygib needs to be careful. The pressure makes sense, but he needs to be careful not to feed, and that's what he's doing, but the rail will miss. psygib gets back into it, and this is so back and forth lethal.
Hardcore matches probably is the best way to describe it right now. Just absolute madness. The Pika does a fair amount of damage, but dramiS comes out on top. Good heavy machine gun damage from him. Picks up the Mega as well. 3 minutes left remaining. psygib's got plenty of time to attempt to bring this back. Uses the orb to get behind him. psygib had absolutely no clue, or even predicted him to even try and attempt that. So good orb placements, I must say. dramiS just doing work here. And what a great way to kick things off. I said it earlier on, but you know, kind of in the dark in terms of how dramiS is going to perform. I haven't really seen him online in any scrims or anything like that, but it looks like he's just fine here. Just fine. Easing himself into it.
Just easing back into it, playing the most hectic Deep Embrace. Well, that's not true, but it's quite the slugfest indeed, as psygib backs away onto the Mega. Machine gun popping. dramiS still with the 4 frag lead, can slow things down just a little bit, trying to deal some damage on this heavy. Gets caught out. There's the Dire Orb, slips by and steals it, and that's rather big. psygib really needed that one here. Stacks about even, all things considered, because of the steal.
Yeah, burning that heavy was so important to make sure that psygib doesn't get the cleanest kill, which means it still needs to continue on with the restack. Minute 45 left remaining. psygib has the mobility here. dramiS knows he can't let his foot off the gas, as it's just way too early to do that as of yet. So psygib with the Tri-Bolt, just trying to sprinkle a bit of damage onto dramiS. I must say, dramiS is doing a good job just dodging and weaving there, but now he's taking a huge chunk trying to get away, and psygib just trying to knock on his door once again. Oh, that rocket as well, and dramiS still managed to come out on top on that. Misses the first initial rail on the spawn, but this is looking very good for dramiS. As long as he keeps him at bay, keeps doing his chip damage to keep him even further apart, this should be good. Or so we say, fantastic from dramiS there. His rails have been remarkable from the get-go, and his rocket just to complement it further. But both players have hit 50%, 51%, 52% now in terms of accuracy between both his players, but it's just been phenomenal. dramiS has just been doing a better job just contesting these items as well.
Yeah, dramiS looks pretty good, all things considered, being away from the game for a while. psygib just couldn't really go toe-to-toe. There was that kind of brief moment around 6-7 minutes where dramiS was able to kind of chain together 2 or 3 frags, and psygib brings that back, but that's going to be the difference maker here. Is 30 seconds left, and it's going to take a lot. If psygib can do it, but I doubt it just based on the spawn time alone and delaying. I think this one is done. dramiS, first map back officially in the Pro League, and he takes it over psygib.
But a lot of people in the Americas region are probably a tad bit worried now. They probably thought, oh, okay, dramiS has had a bit of a break.
This will be easy.
Okay.
It's not. Somehow he's gotten stronger.
Sometimes, do you know what? A good break is all you need, and it looks
Pun
like
intended.
He might have done...
Right.
Yeah.
Lethal. Naughty boy.
Exactly.
How dare you? That's a real injury. Don't make fun of the boy.
Sorry. I'm glad you like that one anyway. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
But
it's
by
my
4
favorite.
frags, you can't complain. Can't complain at all. It's nice to see that dramiS is on form, and like I said earlier, sometimes a break is what you need to do itself justice, because it can get quite, it can be, not saying annoying, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy out of you for the mental fortitude you've got to have to play at this high level in this competitive manner as well. And dramiS just doing a fantastic job in terms of retaliation and just keep his composure, making sure to bring out great rockets, great rails as well. Look at that! Look how composed he is. He's so chilled. He takes a death. He's like, okay, it's fine. Don't need to worry about it too much. So, question is, what's psygib going to do in map number 2?
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see the evolution of psygib into psygod? Is what everyone in the chat wants to see. When you see the gum, all right, the gum, but then then it's the bandana, then it's the aviators, and then you know that he has finally evolved. But for now, we're gonna have to wait another map. As psygib looking a little bit lackluster. I mean, lackluster is not the right word. It was a head-to-head battle, and dramiS just kind of got the better of him. Got a few more cleaner kills, and that extended the lead just enough. But it was a very, very back and forth game. Looking forward to getting into Awoken. It's going to be Eisen for dramiS and Nyx for psygib. I don't see it being like that. Again, Deep Embrace versus Awoken, a completely different pace of maps, but you never know. I mean, if these players come out swinging, I wouldn't mind seeing them both swing for the fences. But for now, dramiS taking the 1 map advantage in this series, and it's good to see him back and playing again.
It's funny as well, because we've seen a lot of Eisen played on Awoken now, which is not something we're used to, I don't think, especially in the last couple of weeks of the Pro League. But this week in particular, we've seen it a lot. We know it's only been like 3 or 4 matches, but it seems to be, not part of the meta, but people are just trying to change things up a little bit. But we'll see as we go into Awoken. psygib, definitely one of his better maps, definitely one of his go-to to kind of try and equalize the series. dramiS, though, also quite good on Awoken, definitely depending on what kind of day he's going to have. You can see the percentages. Both of them were just hitting to no end. Even though psygib didn't fire as many shots, still got 56%. dramiS had 55%. And I must say as well, we did forget to mention that dramiS had some fantastic orb placements. Even that orb frag above the heavy, and when he got behind him on the rockets, it was just brilliant.
Yeah, really, really well played. I mean, the rail kind of shining bright for dramiS there. Going to see if he can implement that into this game on Awoken, but I don't know. I feel like psygib is going to bounce back. I don't think it was that tough of a loss. Again, I think it was more of a toe-to-toe fighting, not getting the damage you needed to be clean enough to snowball into more frags off the spawn. So I think no need to really worry. If we take a quick peek at the predictions right here, it looks like chat kind of agrees. Is it still pretty split? psygib 54% for the prediction, 46% for dramiS. So we'll see. I think this one is going to be the bounce back game for psygib, and then I think the decider is going to be the 3rd map.
Yeah, I think chat heavily predicted psygib last time round. But in all fairness, I don't blame him, because we weren't too sure what to expect from dramiS in terms of his break he's had. It's something that'll take a little bit of a while to not just have a competitive edge, but because he's had a bit of a break, it's a lot to get used to in terms of all that. But it seems like he's fine. He's just fine. He's acting as though it's like the following week after his injury. But yeah, to look at it so far, it's still quite even. I think a lot of people in chat and everyone else watching are probably thinking to themselves, okay, yeah, this could be a lot more of a closer affair in comparison. More of a slobber knocker, really, overall. But let's see as we're going to go into the second map between these 2 titans. As psygib definitely kept it very, very close to the bitter end. But let's see if we can bring this back in this series, as dramiS does take the first map. And we will be starting with his POV, as but time it already down. So does the Ghost Walk. Is going to be getting out of there. As I was, oh, okay, that was very, very close for wear. As dramiS does get that first frag.
And just so fast. All right, so the pace is going to be this. I'm okay with this. Ghost Walk is burned, and dramiS has to know that and can kind of poke a little bit harder than usual. psygib has to be very careful. Now he's dealing with 2 people at once. Timmy popping off the tri-bolt almost. Absolutely beautiful. Doing good damage, but that rail's going to be big. This is going to be easier. What? Weapon choice? Why? And psygib gets the tri-bolt kill. Lethal, what in the hell was that?
I don't know. I'm glad it's not just me. I'm sure it's not everyone else either. Still in the first minute, good rocket, uses the Ghost Walk directly next to him, use it to his advantage, and dramiS still manages to come out on top on that engagement, considering using that Ghost Walk to kind of finish him off. And what a combo to now increase the lead once again. dramiS looking for additional frags here to his name. Oh, you can see psygib does fall, but does burn the heavy before he gets taken down.
This is just another slugfest. This is what I want. This is how we do it in the Americas, Lethal, okay? It's just relentless aggression all the time. No. 3-2. It looks like it's slowing down a little bit here. psygib is stuck down by the shotgun. Does have Ghost Walk, but can't really make a play for the Mega, be it to pick up or do damage on. But he does have positioning on this heavy, which should go to him. As dramiS down by the small armor, trying to thread some rockets through the murder hole, but more importantly, get a rail of his own.
Hope so here. 2 minutes has elapsed, but it feels like a lot more than that. Oh, look at this LG from psygib. dramiS had absolutely nowhere to go. Even Gauntlet's Timmy. It was just, I'm sure you're feeling pretty sad about.
He didn't have to do him like that.
It's not something you see every day. Rockets raining down, and you're taking a huge amount to try and grab this heavy. Was it worth it though? The psygib now just interesting weapon of choice, just to see if we can clean him up to guarantee the kill, but finally finish his dramiS off and does take the lead by 1 frag. It looks like it is going to be slugfest once again here for ES. Like you rightly said, in the Americas it seems to be a lot more aggro, but that's not going to help him at all. dramiS even picked up the Mega in the process, and psygib's gone bye-byes here.
That play on the Mega from dramiS was just so good, knowing that psygib is going to use the wall jump, aiming up with the rocket, and then the cutoff with the LG. It was ballsy, and it worked out. And this jump pad play, I don't know about this one, it's ballsy, and somehow it works again. Lethal, nothing makes sense.
It don't really, does it? Well, this is your region for you, got to remember that. Oh, you saw how much damage. psygib actually took a fair amount of damage there, but it seems like, oh, look at the aggression from dramiS. Picks up the rockets, going straight in for the congestion of this heavy, and he succeeds. Brilliant stuff there from dramiS.
Just so back and forth. This is just who can do more damage. Let's just go toe-to-toe. Let's play a little bit of aim map. As psygib serving up just his body for 2 rails and needs to be careful. There's the rocket jump trying to time it. It's dramiS! What?
Wow.
Oh, what a shot!
Oh, that was so filthy. It's like he did it on purpose for style points. Obviously he didn't, but the way he just done that was just, well, if you want momentum in your favor, that is definitely one way to do it. As already taking a little bit of damage, 50 LG goes in with the shotgun. And the mid-air rocket from psygib. Oh dear me, it's just all about flair and style so far. Here 40 and psygib now, only trailing behind by 2, so still got plenty of room, still got plenty of time as well.
I think I get it now. I think they're just trying to make their frag movies, and for some reason this is like the last day, and they're just gonna film all the clips right now. As psygib in a bad way, 5 HP, Ghost Walk burn, does have a 25 to work with, does hit a rail on his way out, and is gonna wall jump his way towards the middle of the map, and banana to restack. But an incredible showing from both players in terms of mechanical skill and aim. dramiS still 2 frag lead right now, needs to be careful. Making sure not to go up the jump pad, trying to get a rail in. The tri-bolt doing a little bit of damage from psygib as he maintains position, and the Mega will be right in time after that rail.
Yeah, I normally call Wenger the Quake gymnast, but oh no! As if oh no, dramiS is going to be You know, let's not beat around the bush here. dramiS is going to be very happy about that, and psygib's going to be kicking himself. Just a tag, cleans him up with the LG, only knocked him down to 34 HP. Literally, we've had everything and more, and it's only been 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. I don't even want to imagine what these next 5 minutes are going to be like. Is psygib's still trying to keep it as competitive as possible, trying to keep it as close as possible. Here, he's got 30 HP. Just a huge chunk of damage before he gets cleaned up, but it's not going to change the fact that psygib does grab that mega. But yeah, you couldn't make this up if you tried it, Foy.
Are you not entertained? Is this why you're not here? psygib trying to do a little bit of damage with the nail, not bad, but takes a rail. Drops down and has to burn the Ghost Walk as Timmy goes down and dramiS goes flying by here. Making his way towards the middle of the map with the rocket jump. psygib trying to defend a little bit of LG. The Mega's right behind you and he makes the move and he gets it, but dramiS still gets the frag. Oh my goodness.
You couldn't make some of this stuff up, could you? Honestly, it's like they have the advantage, they lose, and it's like it's happened on a number of occasions now, and you couldn't make this stuff up. I've said it. I've already said it before. As psygib goes through the telly, it's just, yeah, it's just absolute. Oh, that rocket! It's just absolute carnage here. dramiS is going to be pushing in for the frag. Nice little drive-by there. Nice little twitch there from dramiS just to confirm that his rails have just been ridiculous.
Oh my!
Oh, like it's just been just phenomenal.
Stop it. Just stop it. 13-6. And this is the problem again with the Knicks that we've seen. When you're out of control, you don't have the stack, you take big damage like that, and you have to start making crazier and crazier plays, especially when you're down 8 and you have about 3 minutes remaining. Aggressive Ghost Walk, and oh, psygib gets it!
Inside out.
What?
Oh, and he hit him with the raffle, lethal. He hit him with the raffle.
Sadly for psygib, it's not going to change the scoreline and do better what he can do with the 7 frag deficit as a light champion. It's going to be so tough. But at least he had a few giggles there.
If you don't smile, you're going to cry. And that's important to remember here. Because again, dramiS does have the 1 map advantage. Down 7 right now, so psygib trying to make the comeback. There's Timmy. Can it save his life? Big first rocket. dramiS is able to tickle right past Timmy right there. Or excuse me, psygib has 8. Ooh, okay, another one. See, dramiS needs to be careful. There's still a lot of time. He can't just throw this away. Only up 5. He is able to spawn in on the heavy, but psygib popping the Ghost Walk, avoiding damage. dramiS wisely using the sound cues to not follow through the telly. But things are getting so crazy, I'm all kinds of confused, Lethal. 5 frags separate these two. Can psygib make the comeback?
Ooh, these rockets. Oh, a little bit of disrespect. Or maybe just having a bit of a giggle, 1 of the 2. 4 frags down. And you can definitely do it, absolutely. You know, you can use the Ghost Walk aggressively, but dramiS can't let down in any way, shape, or form on the aggro because it has toned it down a little bit. Some great rockets again, and look at this. Each frag psygib is actually bagging here. They've been clean. He's not really taking any damage, which means that it can continue pursuing towards dramiS. dramiS is dropping down, but look at this. psygib still has the weapons in his arsenal to make use, and he's just standing still, just waiting for him to go through. Takes him down. That was so close. And now it's only 2 frags in it, and he's still got plenty of time.
He's doing it, and he could have the cutoff here. As dramiS, no, he gets caught, and he takes himself out, and psygib, even though he's absolutely decimated, has the Mega to pick up right behind him. Armor shard as well, grabbing the vials to get Ghost Walk back. dramiS with the relentless aggression, but needs to be careful. psygib is not as weak as you think.
Yeah, dramiS actually committed suicide, which means that it's only going to be 1 frag in it. What was it, 7 frags down? Something like that? It was like 4, I can't remember what it was. It was definitely a 7 frag deficit somewhere. I thought it was like 14-7 or something like that. But yeah, dramiS now. Not too sure what it's going to be able to do here. psygib's going to have to use that Ghost Walk aggressively in some kind of manner. Heavy's coming up next 15 seconds. dramiS knows exactly where he is. He's trying to get away. He's using his predictive rockets. He's using that Ghost Walk, realizes where he is.
Oh my god, what a rocket!
Again, and still psygib is able to claw this back. I don't know how he's managed to do this, but this has been fantastic so far from psygib.
Big rail, though. for psygib. Even though the Mega goes to drama, psygib really needs to play cautiously here, and we're going into sudden death. Lethal. I think I'm going to get kicked out of my apartment, but that's not the point. 13 to 13. psygib coming around the corner with good LG. drama's down to 50 HP through the glory hole. Is it going to be? No, nothing. But a little bit of LG. Timmy can't save you, and the LG from psygib does it, and what a map. Did you see the fist bump? Are we going to see the headband, and are we going to see the aviators?
I just don't know how that escalated so quickly. He was, what, up 14 to 7? And then ends up losing 13 to 14. Oh, that is just balmy. I'd have to watch that back.
I feel like I've seen something like this before, and I think the quote is, "That's how you do it. That's how you throw a blank frag lead." I'm not going to say who did it, but you all know who did it. And that was an incredible display from psygib, and I feel like drama's got too comfortable.
I feel like that as well. Even when he fired a couple of rockets on his body, that was kind of psygib saying, like, well, you know, I'm coming for you. I'm still going to do my damnedest to make sure to bring this as the, you know, best scoreline as possible to try and catch up. Because you know what, Awoken's like, things can get out of hand. He kept trapping dramiS on a number of occasions in that rail area, and he just couldn't do anything. Got kicked off the map twice as well. Yeah, just think everything went backwards. Committed suicide as well. It was just balmy how that went. The first 5 minutes was just ridiculous. I even said it at the 5-minute mark. I was like, I don't know what more could happen. And psygib clawing back 7 frags in a row is just, you know, a huge feat. And, you know, great stuff there from psygib. It's now we're tying up going into map. I hope it's exactly the same as what we've seen in map number 2, because map 3 should be an absolute banger once again.
Just bonkers series for both these players. And again, it's not the most strategic lethal, I'll admit that. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of the Americas. But I mean, yeah, it's just aim train. There is a little bit of strategy, of course, but wow, they're just putting their mechanics on display more than anything. This rocket kill to tie it, just to send them off the map into the arms of Sync Error, and then just getting caught, trying to use Timmy to the best of his ability. psygib popping off, coming back. And drama's has to be just deflated after that one. You can even see sitting back in his chair like, how did that happen to me? And this is going to be a VOD he wants to watch back, because I really do think it was getting too comfortable. You start having a big frag lead. You hit some shots that maybe you have no business hitting, and you're like, this is in the bag. This is easy. Then you get 1 frag, 2 frag. You start throwing away frags, and you're like, surely I won't lose this, right? Surely. And psygib just... oh, just what a play from psygib to come back, keep his head in the game, and get that map. That's just incredible work from psygib.
Certainly was indeed. 708 more damage, and I'm gobsmacked psygib came back from that with just a few minutes left remaining. I think what you said was absolutely spot on. dramiS just got way too comfortable, and don't get me wrong, he tried his best to kind of get himself a bad situation. He went to the same areas quite a few times. I think he was hoping that maybe psygib will change his thought process and assume that he's gone elsewhere, maybe to the LG room or around heavy machine gun. But no, he just went to the rail bit every single time, had him trapped, had height advantage, had positional advantage every single time. But it's just rockets and his rails just to complement his movement and the routes he was taking to trap dramiS. And dramiS on a few occasions also tried to trade him out, basically. And it was very tough. It was very difficult every single time. I think you noticed it around the 10 or 11 frag mark from psygib. dramiS was like, okay, I can't really just sit on my backside and just hope that time will just work in my favor, because by then there was only a couple of minutes left, and some of the things that happened just should not have happened, and it did. He pretty much got away with murder on just a number of occasions, and those 2 ring outs and the suicide, yeah, we just had everything in just one map, and it was just great.
Just action-packed series between these two, and we got one more to decide it. So I thought it was going to be the triumphant return of dramiS, and it's not a bad display at all, but wow. psygib taking that map away from him, sending us to a 3rd to decide the series. That's a big one. Let's see who kind of has the mental fortitude to stick in there for another 10 minutes of grueling Quake. And more than anything, I just want to see more of a bloodbath. dramiS psygib, map number 3, live right now here on week 10 of the Quake Pro League.
Yeah, I still can't get over that last matchup. That was just absolutely insane. dramiS is maybe pretty peeved about that in terms of how that could have gone, and how, actually, let's be real, how it should have gone. In all fairness, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking about that. But that was in the past. He's going to be looking to try and secure this series with this final map. as I mentioned before, psygib is pretty damn good on Veil as well. So we'll see if he can use his strength to his advantage as dramiS picks up that heavy. Actually, rocket jumps twice up, using that pineapple just to keep him at bay. Good rocket there just to inflict a tad bit of damage. Finds him in the rocket area once again. Good rocket though. This could be a little lead way for dramiS, but still though the stacks are quite similar. Sort of pushing with the rail. This is definitely dramiS overextending. Does get away with it.
Yeah, really
it's
trying
only been a minute.
Really trying to force the issue, and you gotta wonder if maybe it's a little bit of frustration pouring over from map number 2, and he just wants to get in there and get the frag and take the lead early, but he has to be very measured. I mean, based on what just happened, you have to know that you can't just feed psygib the kills, and trying to press in the LG to the rail combo nets psygib the first frag of map number 3.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's all about keeping your composure now. As the style of play psygib is playing in now, it's not the same as the first 2 maps. It was just going at each other's throats. This time round, psygib's got a lot more of a methodical approach. It's what we know about psygib. You know, he always has a methodical approach. The last couple of maps have been just all-out aggression. This time round, he's playing more to his style. And psygib's got a huge stack here. And he has to kill to kind of throw those pineapples anywhere he wants to cover these choke points. Good first rail there. Looking to see if he can get the flank onto dramiS, but dramiS does get a return rail of his own. Oh, those pineapples did miss, but some good rockets there from psygib.
Wow.
And dramiS takes him down, and that was just a godsend for him, pretty much. Hits the first rail, hits the second one. When he go 3 for 3, he's going to definitely give it a big him. Then he actually clears him up with the LG just to play it safe, just for extra insurance. And the heavy is still up. He's not going to go for it yet, just checking all angles to make sure psygib isn't going to randomly drop down. Good combo there from dramiS, and does hit another one. This should be clean-up duty here for dramiS, and he extends his lead 3-1.
dramiS playing well now. Getting good damage, getting unreturned rails, trying to rocket jump out of there, taking a little bit of LG, but again, you see dramiS trying to post up and at least get some rail damage to make sure that keel doesn't get too stacked. Good rail on the churro, knocking him off. 33 HP, psygib's able to clean that one up. Does win himself the heavy. Mega goes to dramiS. psygib needs to be careful now. Doesn't really have the position for this, but he wants to take this fight, trying to thread the needle with a rocket, but dramiS with the shotgun gets that frag back, and a little bit of over extension there from psygib, trying to make something happen when he didn't really have the resources to.
dramiS with the lead once again. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. He's definitely not going to let his foot off the gas compared to what happened on Awoken. But, oh, that rocket jump did not help in any way, but neither did that rail either. psygib claws his way back, only a 1 frag deficit. psygib just doing a good job just contesting these rockets. He knows that dramiS is just in that rail room. Good. Oh, there's so much damage there from psygib. As the Mega's coming up in the next few seconds, but we'll prioritise the heavy first. dramiS will probably know about this, but he's just checking to see if he's going to be around that Mega area. Principally uses that spit to keep him at bay, but it's not going to change the fact that he's going to be able to pick that up, and he's taken way too much. Surely he's going to be able to tie this up. Yes, he does. And psygib now will tie things up 4-all. Sadly misses that first rail on the spawn.
Defending that LG, making sure there's no shenanigans from dramiS and that nothing is free. Really only working with a rail and a shotgun as he's posting up for the heavy. Good initial rail there. psygib's gonna gamble it all, and he gets railed off the churro, almost gets another one. dramiS will get the steal, and now he has spit back up and he can make his way to the rockets. Can he cut off? He's actually not gonna grab rockets, he's just gonna hit a rail. Nothing matters, Lethal. What a play.
I was going to say, what a play from psygib, going 2 for 2, and look at that again, dramiS. Showing some incredible map presence here, just doing everything across the board. psygib had some fabulous rails earlier on to retaliate or to respond to the incredible plays that dramiS was making, but now that dramiS is just doing the exact same, but making matters even worse now for psygib. Is you can see dramiS just pushing in some great rockets there, using that spit as well. It doesn't even matter, the combo comes out. He's down to 57 HP, trying to get the spawn rail and also to contest these rockets. It's going to drop down on him. Not too sure psygib's going to know, but some good shotgun shots. But is
Oh
it
my
going to be
God.
enough? He uses the gauntlet, and psygib actually rails him straight afterwards. Little bit of body disrespect there. Only behind by 2 frags, and again, we've still got just over 4 minutes left remaining.
It's happening. Rail on the dead body as psygib, you know, trying to say, dramiS, you know what? Like, respect me a little more. You saw what happened on map number 2. You want it to happen again, and dramiS says, here's a rocket. Stop talking. 8-5. Rail off the spawn as well. dramiS heating up 6 minutes into a 3-frag lead. And yeah, it's definitely a display of mechanics and aim right now, Lethal, from both players.
Yeah, both of their fundamentals have just been incredible. psygib with the tri-bolt just to add another frag to his back pocket. Again, still got a decent stack. It was a clean fight for him. Mega will be up in the next 5 seconds. It depends how he wants to approach this. He does realise, oh, nice little tickle there with the tri-bolt. He knows dramiS is going to be down below, won't be able to contest it to the best of his ability, and still has height advantage on this heavy. But as he drops down after him, the LG's come out, deciding to go for the rockets instead. Will it help him? dramiS with the rail. God, what's going on here?
I just don't know what you do. Like, dramiS is hitting all of these clutch rails, 61%. psygib's hitting 56. He's not doing bad, but psygib's hitting the ones that matters, the ones that win him the items. And again, rockets like that, surviving 44 HP with a little bit of armor. And oh, look, there's a mega. psygib trying to aggress off the spawn, does get the trade. But dramiS again hitting the dying rail, keeping it at a 4-frag game.
And he is indeed. dramiS actually picked up.
He did it again!
He's. What can you do against it? Look at the rockets as well. He is trapped in a dark place right now. Rail once again. But let's be real here, right? So dramiS has actually hit 64% of his rails, but psygib's hit 56%. So it's not like psygib's hitting some bad rails either. It's just the ones which dramiS are hitting have just had the, you know, been the game-changing ones to pick up some of these frags, and it's just been ridiculous. He's 6 frags behind, but again, dramiS needs to continue piling on the pressure. He can't just let go of the gas once again, but you can see too much damage was done before. At least he won't have to ring out in this map. Well, we hope not anyway, but 2 minutes left remaining, and psygib's got to try and find 6 frags, you know, a 6 frag deficit. It could be a little bit too much, we'll see.
Oh my dunks. No. Oh, and the cutoff, dramiS. Oh, that play was gorgeous. That play was gorgeous. As psygib just got tail whipped in the face. Does make a move for the mega. Now dramiS in a bad way here, but psygib has to finish, and he does beautifully with the shotgun. But 6 frags, a minute 40. It's going to take a bit of a miracle here, as dramiS can play hyper defensive now. Has the mobility on the Sorlag. Keel not so mobile himself. And it's just a matter of guessing right and constantly catching dramiS out and getting clean kills, which Sorlag will not allow. The shotgun finally getting taken down with the pineapple. All things considered, that was clean. dramiS needs to be careful. He doesn't want to take that fight. Just get out of there. And he finally does. 5 frags. psygib still aggressing. Does have the mega to fall back on, but wow, down to 5 HP. dramiS holding his ground.
dramiS doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. What a rocket!
Oh, the rocket! Oh my
god! I know. I was literally holding onto my armchairs, man, just wondering if he was going to hit that or not. As psygib though, this is really good pressure from him. Like 4 frags in 50 seconds, it's doable, but they have to be clean. And with the starting stack from dramiS, I just can't see it happening. But he's going to do his best though. But you know, you mentioned it, the mobility. there he goes. See you later. He's making a great example of it, and he does get away with that. Sorlag will find him, but yeah, 21 HP. He's going to be able to stay alive, but there's no way he can fight. As dramiS can easily just trade this off if he wants to.
Instead, he's going to give up the entire map, and he's just going to play the clock, and I think that's going to be enough. 20 seconds, 3 frags. It's going to be a bit too much, as dramiS does get caught out yet again. So this should be a frag for psygib, but dramiS knows. Trying to shotgun rail, and psygib shotgun. Somebody needs to polish that up. There's something wrong with that boy's shotgun. Not getting a lot of damage, 14 to 12, as the time ticks down in another intense nail biter between these two, as they were just doing us all a favor on this beautiful Sunday and showing off their mechanical skills. But wow, just
wow,
hell of a series, Lethal.
It really was. Even some of the weapon switches that dramiS made, you know, trying to use those rail shots like to clean up a kill, like at close range, it was wouldn't say it was debatable. He was just basically feeling it, wasn't he? He was in beast mode, and at one point he was in the 60s in terms of percentage, 54% in the end. But it doesn't matter; the damage has already been done. But what can you do against that? It was really, really tough from psygib, and psygib, don't get me wrong, he retaliated really, really well. Like, there's a number of times where he kept good map control. He tried to make sure to have good predictive rockets to make sure that he can take advantage of those choke points with the pineapples, but dramiS was just having none of it. I feel like psygib had a very good start. He had that methodical approach this time round instead of the aggression, but then he had to switch up his style to try and catch up with dramiS in his last few minutes. It was very, very tough, but if dramiS is hitting shots like this, like, what can you do? I don't think anyone expected him to come out the gates back in the Pro League hitting some of the things we just dream of hitting sometimes.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, sometimes you just have the hot hand and all your rails are hitting, and luckily for dramiS, literally look at all of these rail kills to seal the deal and stay alive with, 25, 30 or less HP every single time. And then when he had the stack, he can make cutoffs like that, beautiful rocket jump to finish it after the initial rocket. It was just a really well-played game from both players, but I mean, aim and mechanics, right, come to the forefront for both, and luckily for dramiS, he was able to just hit so many clutch rails. Sometimes you're just hitting everything beyond the arc, Lethal. That's a basketball reference, in case you don't understand. Not that I've ever played a sport in my life. But yeah, there's the final stats from Vale. Taking a look at that, I mean, the damage extremely close between both players. 54% versus 45% rail, and again, the ones dramiS were hitting were the clutch rails, swapping to that last bit of burst damage that he needed, and just every single time it feels like hitting what he needed to get away.
334 damage between the two. And did you see that psygib actually took most of the items? So dramiS only had 11 items, but he picked up 33 lights. 33. He was, people call him Pac-Man sometimes, but yeah, literally just on the back foot quite a lot in the last few moments. So he was eating up all the lights just to try and recover. You even see it on some of the occasions right from the very get-go. But like we already said, with the kill, you saw psygib had positional advantage quite a lot, and it's very difficult with the choke points with the pineapples once again. And dramiS avoided that like the plague on a number of occasions, and some of the stuff he was hitting, it was just it wasn't even just that map, it was just the entire series. It was just an absolute pleasure to watch. Definitely underestimated how that matchup was going to pan out.
Just bonkers, and a huge welcome back to dramiS. Good to see you playing again. But I think we take a quick little break, Lethal. I need to go check my blood pressure after that set. Don't go anywhere. We still have 3 sets coming right up, and a lot more Quake action for all of you. So be back in about 5.